Right here we have a voice that we've heard before, but he is now solo. We have Benny King singing Stand By Me from April of 1961.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me.
So that's good, huh?
What, this one?
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I've listened to this one over and over very recently, and it keeps coming back to me. We don't try to tip our hands, but I don't know. Is this the best song we've heard so far? Is this maybe, possibly?
I'll go with possibly on that. I don't want to tip my hand, but there's another one in this episode that I might give that nod to. Yeah, I mean, this is just an incredible song. We've talked a little bit about Benny King, but do you want to give us the quick bio on him personally as opposed to his work with the Drifters?
Yeah, he was born in 1938, Benjamin Earl Nelson, in Henderson, North Carolina. He moved to Harlem, sang in churches and doo-wop high school groups. In 58, he joined a doo-wop group called the Five Crowns. We talked about them in the 60 episode. They were scooped up by Drifters manager George Treadwell to become the New Drifters when he decided to axe the old group. As we mentioned in the 60 episode, Benny King left the Drifters between the release of This Magic Moment and Save the Last Dance for Me. He did record on both songs, though. He stayed with Atlantic Records, but jumped onto the Atco imprint, and his first hit was Spanish Harlem, a number 10 pop hit, and, arguable Hall of Songs nominee, I would say. But then he did this one. And, this song, it's a chop story. There are a couple different stories about it, but it seems like what happened was he was working on it with Jerry Lieber. He had it already in his head a little bit, but he was working with it with Jerry Lieber, fleshing it out. Mike Stoller comes in to help get the song done, and they added the bass. And what Mike Stoller really did was add the bass part, which really is like sort of the pulse of the song, and that proved to be the key element. They then asked Stanley Applebaum to write a string arrangement, and then from there, other instruments, coming in. And boy, I mean, this song is just a powerhouse of a song.
And we've talked about the strings, right? And we talked about it in There Goes My Baby and This Magic Moment, and we weren't entirely in agreement on where we thought, the strings came out. Like, I really liked the way that they were used in There Goes My Baby. You thought that was a little too much. I would say this is the perfect choice for this song, where the strings they give this an urgency, right? But they are understated, that they do not overwhelm Benny King's vocals, and they let him be, again, similar to the Patsy Cline song, they let him be the star of the show while still giving it an urgency that it just would not have without that string part.
By me, walk stand now, stand by me, stand by me.
Yeah, the middle 8 with that string part is so wonderful. The little bell throughout is a nice little choice. The washboard-like percussion is very understated. It just lets Benny King really shine the vocal. I'm going to talk about a couple things here, but first the chord progression. So, this is an example of the 50s chord progression. It's something that is also referred to as the Stand By Me progression, because this is one of the most, if not the most popular song or famous song that has that chord progression. It's a very common one, though, and it's hard for me to describe it. I'm not a technical person. I don't like to sort of talk about chords in a technical way. I try to do it in an early episode, whatever. But what it means to me is that you have that first home note, that boom, and then we go down, boom, and then we go down a little bit more, boom, and then we come back up a little bit more, boom, and then we start over again. So it's those four notes, that they're the four chords developing in a progression there. And to me, that's sort of, it's life, not to get a little too crazy here, but it's the constant cycle of being optimistic, facing numerous challenges. And I think that's why this song speaks to so many people. It's our musical DNA, like there's a lot of songs like that where, you get that feeling of, oh, optimism, things are going to be good. And then there's something of doubt in the second chord, and then things go really awry, but you're able to sort of lift yourself up out of that and get to a better place. Maybe not the best place, but a better place. And to me, that's what life is. It's constantly trying to figure out the ups and the downs and just getting through the downs to make sure you're at a better place at the end. And so many songs that speak to us on that level employ this chord progression. This Magic Moment does that. Unchained Melody, which maybe is a nominee later on. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, a major song, right? Heart and Soul, Earth Angel, Friday by Rebecca Black. Amazing songs.
Bravo. Yes, I mean, it really, I mean, the sound of this is incredible. I mean, I think it's worth taking a minute to talk about the lyrics as well, where it reminds me a lot of You Send Me, right? Where it could be a love song, but it could also be kind of a hymnal. I mean, there's this idea of, darling, stand by me, that would sort of give it a love song vibe, but there's also, sort of more, metaphysical things that makes it seem almost sort of religious and hymnal in that.
Yeah, so this is based on a gospel song called Stand By Me, which is actually itself based on a psalm. So there definitely is that religious, a connotation to it. It really is a universal message. It's a gorgeous message. And there are moments the song does make me cry when I listen to it. It is one of those things that, if you're in that moment and you're thinking about someone or something or some hard times or something, it can really affect you.